Hi viewers, this is T. Venkateshwulu and you are watching Sundeep English World. Today we are going to learn about the formation of information questions under part 2. As you learned earlier, the basic formula involved for framing information question is first you have to use the question word and it is followed by the helping verb, subject, verb, etc. In the previous video, you learned about the formation of information questions using certain question words like what, which, who, whom, whose, where, when, why, and how. In today's video, you are going to learn about the formation of information questions or WH questions using certain question phrases like how much, how many, how far, how long, how old, and how often. Now, let's have a look at some examples. The very first one, how much. The question phrase how much is used to refer to some quantity. See some example. There is a lot of water in the tub, and this is the statement. And generally we have to change the statement into yes or no type question first, later we convert that into information question. And when we change it into yes or no type question, the subject and the verb is inverted. Both are inverted. Is there a lot of water in the tub? This is the yes or no type question. And the underlined part, a lot of, refers to some quantity. So we have to use how much at the beginning. How much water is there in the tub? The question phrase how much acts as an adjective here. So it is followed by some noun. The suitable noun here is water. How much water is there in the tub? Next example. And the underlined part, a lot of, is deleted because we need to get that as the answer. And next one. He invested 10 lakh rupees in the business. And this is the statement, and the verb in the given sentence is in the past tense. When you find the verb in simple past tense, we have to use did at the beginning to change it into yes or no type question. And the verb in simple past tense becomes simple present tense. Did he invest 10 lakh rupees in the business? This is the yes or no type question. And the underlined part refers to some quantity. 10 lakh rupees refers to some quantity. So we have to use how much at the beginning to frame the information question. How much did he invest in the business? And naturally, the underlined part is deleted. Next example. She lost all her property. And the verb here is in simple past tense. So to change it into yes or no type question, first use did at the beginning and the verb in simple past tense becomes simple present tense. Did she lose all her property? And all her property, the underlined one, refers to some quantity. So we have to use how much at the beginning to frame the information question. How much did she lose? And the underlined part is deleted. Next, another question phrase. How many? And this phrase refers to number. See some examples. 50 students attended the class. Here, 50 students. It is in the subject position. when you want to get the subject as the answer, no need to change it into yes or no type question. Simply, the subject is replaced by the question phrase how many. How many students attended the class? Next example. They want to buy 2 cars. And the verb here is in simple present tense. When you find the verb in simple present tense in the given sentence, we have to use do at the beginning to frame the yes or no type question. Do they want to buy 2 cars? And the underlined part refers to some number. So we have to use the question phrase how many at the beginning, and at the same time the phrase acts as an adjective. So it is followed by a noun, the suitable noun, that is cars. How many cars do they want to buy? And the underlined part is deleted. Next, Amala will look after countless animals. First, we have to change it into yes or no type question by inverting the subject and the helping verb. Will Amala look after countless animals? And the underlined part, countless, that refers to some number. So we have to use the question phrase how many at the beginning. How many animals will Amala look after? Here also, how many, the question phrase how many acts as an adjective. So it is followed by a noun, and the suitable noun to be used here is animals. How many animals will Amala look after? Next one, another question phrase. How long? The phrase how long refers to time. Let's see some examples. The duration of the course is 45 days. And generally, to change it into yes or no type question, the duration of the course is a subject and is a verb. Simply we have to invert the subject and the verb to get the yes or no type question. Is the duration of the course 45 days? And the underlined part of 45 days refers to time. So we have to use how long at the beginning. How long is the duration of the course? And the focused point is generally deleted. Next example. The film has continued for 3 hours. And this is the statement. To change it into yes or no type question, the subject and the helping verb are inverted. Has the film continued for 3 hours? This is the yes or no type question. And the underlined part refers to some time. For 3 hours, it refers to some time. So use how long at the beginning. How long has the film continued? And the underlined part is deleted. Next, another example. Banu worked in the bank for 6 years. And the verb in the given sentence is in simple past tense. And when you find the verb in simple past tense, use a did at the beginning to frame the yes or no type question. And the verb in simple past tense becomes the verb in simple present tense. Did Banu work in the bank for 6 years? And the underlined part for 6 years refers to some time. So use how long at the beginning. How long did Banu work in the bank? And the underlined part is deleted. Next, another question phrase. How far? This phrase, how far, refers to some distance. Let's see some examples. Their house is located at 2 furlongs from the bus station. And here, To get it, to change it into yes or no type question, we have to invert the subject and the helping verb. Is their house located at 2 furlongs from the bus station? And the underlined part at 2 furlongs refers to some distance. So we should use how far at the beginning. How far is their house located from the bus station? Let's have a look at the other example. They traveled 100 miles and the verb given in the sentence is in simple past tense. So we should use did at the beginning to frame the yes or no type question, and the verb in simple past tense becomes the verb in simple present tense. Did they travel 100 miles? And the underlined part refers to some distance. So we should use how far at the beginning. How far did they travel? And the underlined part is generally deleted. And another example. Srinu walks 3 kilometers a day. And the given verb here is in simple present tense and the verb has yes also. In such cases, we should begin the yes or no type question with does. Does Srinu walk 3 kilometers a day? Whenever we use does, the main verb doesn't take any yes or yes. Does Srinu walk 3 kilometers a day? And the underlined part 3 kilometers refers to some distance. So we have to begin the question with how far. How far does Srinu walk a day? And the underlined part is naturally deleted. Next, another question phrase. How old? This phrase refers to some age. Let us see some examples. Sarita is 16 years old. And to change it into yes or no type question, we simply invert the subject and the verb. Is Sarita 16 years old? And the underlined part refers to some age. So we have to begin the question with how old. How old is Sarita? Look at the other example. She was 20 when she got married. To change it into yes or no type question, the subject and the verb will be inverted. Was she 20 when she got married? And the underlined part refers to some age. So we have to begin the question with how old. How old was she when she got married? And the underlined part is deleted. Another example. Kumar is very young. To change it into yes or no type question, we simply invert the subject and the verb. Is Kumar very young? And the underlined part very young refers to some age. So we have to begin the question with how old. How old is Kumar? And the underlined part is generally deleted. And another question phrase. How often? This phrase refers to a particular time. Let's have a look at some examples. They visit Tirumala once in a year. The verb in the given sentence is in simple present tense. So we have to begin the yes or no question with do. Do they visit Tirumala once in a year? And the underlined part refers to a particular time. So we have to begin the question with how often. How often do they visit Tirumala? And the underlined part is deleted. Next, another example. The buses run frequently on this route. And here also the given verb is in simple present tense. So we have to begin the yes or no type question with do. Do the buses run frequently on this route? And the underlined part refers to a particular time. So we have to begin the question with how often. How often do the buses run on this route? The underlined part is naturally deleted. Next example. Gopi goes for a walk daily. Here the given verb is in simple present tense. And whenever the given verb has yes or es, we have to begin the yes or no type question with a does. And the main verb does not have yes or es. Does Gopi go for a walk daily? And the underlined part daily refers to a particular time. So begin the question with how often. How often does Gopi go for a walk? And these are some of the examples, and we have to read the underlined part daily. And thank you very much for your kind watching, and I hope that you have enjoyed this video. And if you like this video, you can subscribe to our channel and share it with your near and dear. Happy learning!